Hey y'all, it's your girl Jada J. Now I want to apologize to my people who watch me, for only about 4 weeks now, because that's how long I've been doing the show. And anybody who may have wanted to check me out, through the Jedi, or you heard about me or something like this. I want to apologize. I had like a lot of work I had to do yesterday. Mind you, it was a day off school, so but for me that just means I got more work to do. So, and I've been looking for a job, and think whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to apologize. That's why I didn't get the view, because you guys know I usually be up like later that night, but I'm not gonna do it now because then I have some more homework I have to do. Everybody, all right. So let's get into it. Okay, so we open up where we left off last week, and that's where Brad is being served. So the guy's walking up, Brad Montgomery, that's me. You've been served, and walks off. Now here we got Marcy. Don't open it, Brad. Don't open it. Now I'm thinking Marcy was saying that because she knows Randall is kind of snaky, so she was just telling Brad like, "Don't open it." Is that what you guys think? My lawyers even think so too, because they watch the show on their break time. They don't watch it with me. They have work they need to be doing. But I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So she's like, "Don't open it, Brad. Don't open it." He opens it up, looks at the paper, looks up at Randall. He's like, "Yep, it was me." He needs. I'm telling you, y'all, there's something wrong with Randall mental. Anyway, so Brad started walking up to him. He was like, "What you gonna do? What you gonna do?" He's telling him. Randall's mom is standing in front of him, literally block. No, because she sees Brad walking up. No, no, you're not gonna touch him. You're not gonna touch him. Here go. Here go. Brad, move, move. Randall said, "You touch my mom, you're gonna be a dead man." Okay. So she steps out. Marcy steps out in front of Brad. It's literally like Marcy holding Brad back. I'm holding Brad back, and then we got Randall's mama holding him back. Marcy steps out in front of Brad. "No, let's go home. Let's go home." Randall's like, "Home? Oh, so y'all living together now? That's what y'all doing? That's what y'all do?" She was like, "Yeah, we is. And what?" And he tried to like touch her. She was like, "Don't touch me." So he gonna try and touch her. He on purpose. Brad stepped out in front, said, "What you trying to do? You trying to touch her? You trying to touch her?" So he's like, "The only thing I like better than the taste of your fist is the taste of your wife." And there was something wrong with Randall, because first of all, how he even said it, y'all, was like, "Really, Randall? There's something wrong with you." I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Okay, so Brad is looking at him. He's like, "Really? Really, this what you gonna do?" Like, he looking at him like, you really want to do this? Really? This is what we're doing now? Like, you're like pretty much saying like you're in the wrong, and now you trying to go tit for tat with me? And Randall's like, "Yep, because guess who I am?" He's like, "I'm that baby's father, so this is what's gonna go down. I'm over it. I'm over it." Then Brad tries to grab him before he walks away. He's like, "I love it. I love it." He's like, "Come on, man. I love it. I love it. I love." There's something wrong with him. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. If there's nothing wrong with Randall, then I'm perfectly normal. All right. I can't. There's something wrong with him, y'all. All right. So then, cause this was a long scene, everybody. So then the continuation of that scene, he's walking over to Alex's, no, Kelly's. And Marcy's like, "Where you going? Where you going?" He's like, "I have to show this to Alex." So opens up the door. Oh my gosh, we switched inside of Kelly's house. Alex is scared. She's like, "Don't open it. Don't open it, Kelly." Here goes Brad banging on the door. "Let me in. Let me in. I need to talk to Alex." Kelly's like, she looks to Alex to kind of for confirmation, like, should I open? And it was getting on my nerve because they're trying to act like he's lethal. Like, "Oh snap, you don't open. We got the kids in here. We got the like. What is your problem?" You know what I'm saying? I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate that on Kelly's part, because I would have just told her, I was like, "Okay, go in the back with the kids. I have to open the door." You know what I'm saying? I guess she was just being her homegirl. So yeah, Brad's banging on the door. "Let me in, let me in." "Brad, what do you want? Just tell me what you want. I can't open the door. We got the kids in here. We got the kids." He's like, "Come on, I need to talk to Alex." Alex come back with something. She's like, "What do you want?" He's like, "I need to show you something. I need to show you something." She's like, "What is it?" He's like, "Come on, open the door. I need to show you." The kids come out because they hear him banging on the door. So they come out. They're like, "Dad." So she's like, "Nah, y'all gotta go back. Y'all gotta go back." So they're trying to go. They're like, "Why? It's Dad and all that." She's like, "No, honey." So Alex goes back into the room with the kids and Lil Justice. So they all go to the back. Now Kelly acting so scared. She calling Ramsey up like, "Yo, I need you to come," because he in the backyard cutting grass. So I guess she was too scared to go outside. So she calls Ramsey. She's like, "Yo, I need you to come inside, to come in here fast." He come in. He's like, everything all right. He hear Brad banging on the door. He opened up the door. She trying to stop. He's like, nah, step back, step back. He go open the door. He said, you really trying to do this again? Really? He's like, I need to talk to her. I need to talk to the kids. Come back out when they're in the middle of a conversation. But we got Kelly in the background. Brad, you gonna do this in front of the kids? I'm like, what is she talking about? He telling you he gotta give her something. Like, what do you think? I don't get it. I was about to say but I don't. I'm over it. So the kids come back out. They're like, Dad, why are you banging on the door? What's wrong? They're like, are you mad at us? He's like, no, of course not. They go, you're mad at Mom. And then he's like, what? And they go, because, no, Peter, I think it was the boy. He goes, is it because she had an affair? And he's like, what? Like, kind of like, how did you know about that? She goes, Mom told us. And he's like, is that why? And I think the boy is like, is that why you're getting a divorce? No, he goes, Mom told us you're getting a divorce. Is that true? It was a dramatic pause, y'all. That's why I think we were all kind of like, okay, what's he about to say? He goes, yes. We also then the boy gonna try and compare something that don't really compare, but I get it. Hey, I've been there. So then the kid's like, but you told me I had to forgive, but you're not gonna forgive Mom? He was like, that's not right. Come on now. So then he's like, Kelly, no. So then they go, what's gonna happen now? Where are we gonna go? Where are you gonna go? So he's like, don't worry, I'll never be that far away. Nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna still see y'all. She's like, no, please don't go, Dad. Please don't. So he's like, Kelly, I can't today. Please help me. So she goes over. She already know that's lingo for, okay, let me go talk to these kids. And so she's like, all right, you guys have to go to the back with Justice. All right, just chill. Just hang back. Just hang back. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. So then the kids is like, nah, but we don't want them to get a divorce. She's like, I get you, but you got to let them talk. So then the kids, Peter, I think it was the girl, was like, can we go and give him a hug? And they both went, and he's like, I love you, Dad. And then he's like, I love you too. And they had this little scene. And then the girl turns around, she's like, and you're not getting a divorce. And then Kelly's like, all right, So, just kind of talk back and forth. Why you gonna do this in front of the kids, Brad? Don't do this in front of your kids. That's what Kelly's saying. We got Ramsey. Come on, man. You gonna do this in front of your kids? I'm like, doing what in front of his kids? Though, like, that was the whole thing. I'm like, what is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ghetto, y'all. I'm just playing. All right. So then he's like, I need to give this to Alex. She comes out. She goes, you're serving me? He goes, just open it up. Just open it. She's like, I already know what this is. He's like, just open it. Opens it up, sees it is from Randall. She knows now, okay, he trying to get the kid. I can't with this, because here's my thing. And I don't like Randall. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. And then even when, okay, he's rolling up, because he rolls up on sight. Like, literally after that, Randall rolls up. She sees him. Randall's pulling up. He like this. I can't stand him, everybody. I can't. So he's rolling up. She's like, Randall, get the heck on up out of here and do it now. So then what did he say? What did he say, y'all? I can't. Wait a minute. Okay, Ramsey comes up on him. And he's like, I don't know. Randall goes, I don't know who the heck you are, man, but you better get the heck up out my face. And then he tries to come for Kelly. He's like, oh, did you finally get a man now? Is that what you did? Or is he going to dump you too? And then she's like, shut the heck up. Randall tries to go for him. He's like, oh, I got an idea. Why don't you go buy another house that you can't afford and trap his ASS too? And then she tries to go for it. Ramsey got her. He hold her. So then here go Randall. You gonna try and come for me? I just want to see my son. Alex. There's something wrong with him, everybody. There's something wrong. So Alex comes out the house. Dang near ran out the house. Pop. So then Ramsey got Kelly, because he's still holding her back. All that smart stuff he was saying. Ramsey goes, and she goes, go grab her. So, but then she's like, be soft, she just had a baby or whatever, because she was like, get off me, because I didn't appreciate that. I really didn't. Just the white lady screaming, get off. Oh my God, did I just say that? Can I say, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to say that, everybody. It just, and look, she's playing to mess out that role. Moving on. Okay, so, it don't matter, I'm just saying. Alright, so then, She's like, you are the worst mistake I've ever made in my life. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? She was like, and if you think you're going to take my son from me, you going to really realize what the wrath of a mother is trying to protect her child. You really going to see that. He goes, you can't keep him from me. You can't keep him from me. She goes, oh, really? You want to see? Really bucking up. And then she's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done playing this game. She goes, Brad, I love my son. I love him. And if you can't forgive me for that, then so be it. If you want to sleep with Marcy, do this and the third, go and do you. Go and do you, because I'm done. Turns back to Randall, you are the worst mistake I ever made in my life. Do you understand that? And you're not going to be able to see your son. You're not going to be able to see him. I'm going to make sure of it. I'm going to make sure of it. All right. So I think she really was taking Kelly's advice to heart, because we know last week she told us, she said, where's that girl? You lost her. When I first met you, baking, Bible study, happy, this, that. And, she was like, how do I get her back? And she's like, you just got to do it. So I think this was it. I still don't appreciate it, because she tries to act as if Brad doesn't, like, you're the one who messed up the foundation. So let's not try and get too uppity. Like, I get you finally coming into your own. Like, you know what? I'm done playing victim. But don't try and turn it on Brad as if he's doing something wrong. Oh, if you can't forgive. Okay, that's completely reasonable if he can't forgive you at this moment. It hasn't been that gosh daggone long. All right? I'm over it. Okay, so Randall leaves and, like, kicks the bush before he goes, y'all. I'm telling you, that's why I tell you, it's something wrong with him. It's something wrong with him. So then they all pretty much disperse. And then Marcy and Brad are walking off. I'm done. Okay, so then we switch to the hospital, and Julius is visiting his dad. Now he sees a woman, and this was a sister, everybody, or appeared to be, and a younger sister, younger than him. And she's sitting there, she's holding his hand. Julius comes in, he's like, who are you? So she wasn't going to answer him. She's just about to get up and go. And he's like, I asked you a question. And the father, he, like, signs to her, like, can you take off my oxygen? So she goes like that. And then he's like, tell him. And she was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, tell him. She goes, your father and I have been seeing each other for 30 years. He goes, 30 years? What do you mean? He was with my mother. So then she turns to him again. He's like, go ahead, keep telling him. She says, we've been seeing each other secretly for 30 years. So then he's like, tell him more. I'm like, what the heck is this? I didn't really get that, because I'm thinking it was going to be at the moment where he was trying to make it seem, okay, Julius is not that bad. But it was just getting worse and worse. But they're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we have a child together too. Oh, and you're not the only child. You have a brother, technically, because that's your sister's brother. Yeah, and I was cheating on your mom for 30 years. So, great. So then he kind of tries to, go in on the lady. And he's like, how old are you? She goes, old enough. I didn't appreciate her. I don't care for Julius all like that either. I rock with him before I rock with Eddie. But I don't really care for him. But that woman, I don't know about her, everybody. I don't know if it's gold digger or... Because there's something more with her. There's something... And we're going to find that out, too. Because that scene with her and Jules... Oh, let me not get ahead of myself. Okay, so then he's like, yo, can we step outside? The father's like, no. If you want to talk to her, you talk to her here. You talk to her right here. So then he's like, you never listen, Julius. You never listen ever since you were a child. You never listen. I'm trying to save this business for you. No, because then, when he goes, who's my brother? She goes, Quan. He goes, Quan. She's like, yep, that's my son. She goes, a low-life drug dealer. She was like, and you, a high-life drug dealer. He goes, what the... He's like, don't disrespect her. The father, don't disrespect her. And she's just like, I know what you tried to have my son do. You made him shoot up a whole burger fest to kill a cop. And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like, you wanted him to kill that cop, Eddie. He's like, yeah, but I didn't tell him to shoot up that burger fest. So then the father's like, oh, so you did want the restaurant. So you did want Eddie dead. Really? Then he gets up, he's mad. He's like, you never listen, Julius. You never listen. I've been trying to save this business for you. But you never listen. Ever since you were a little boy, you always wanted to do what you wanted to do. And he's really getting hyped up, and the heart monitor is going up. So she's like, oh, honey, calm down. And Julius goes, oh, now you tell him? And the girl goes, she's like, Tilda. That's her name. That's actually, first she goes, my name is Tilda. We've been seeing each other for 30 years. And she goes, shut your mouth. And he goes, lady, what the? And then that's when he was like, nah. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. And he goes, you need to get out. You need to get out now. You need to go ahead and get out. He's like, but Pa, he was like, nah, get out. Get, you know what I'm saying? You know, he call him Pa, because you know what I'm saying, Pa. The little Hispanic got that little, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, all right, sorry, or whatever. Fakery, because we know Julius waiting on his father to die just because he wanted the business. But I do feel like there is a little bit of him that was probably that little boy who was always trying to impress his father, but never got really a reaction because his father was so busy chasing that paper. I'm not really paying no attention to you. I'm trying to build an empire, that kind of thing. So I get Julius, but I don't appreciate you because you could choose to be doing the right thing. So I'm not going to keep trying to milk that for him. I can't. So anyway, so Julius leaves out. Then we got this little scene with the father and the woman Tilda, and he's like, my sweet Tilda, Tilda, and it's got her hand and whatever. So then she's now leaving the room and she's getting on the elevator. So as the elevator's about to close, Julius slides on and he's like, who are you? And she goes, didn't your father just tell you who I am? And he goes, so where's this sister of mine? Where does she live at? She goes, I wouldn't tell you that. She was like, now get out of my face, boy, because he was all in her face. So she was like, I want to tell you this. She goes, I'm mother of the year. And if you don't get out my face, I'll show you better than I can tell you, boy. Turns around on him. No. First she goes, you're evil. He goes, I'm evil? He was like, you don't even know me. She was like, oh, I know enough. I know you've been evil since you were a little boy. So pretty much saying, oh, your father told me some of the stuff that you used to do. Which I'm kind of like confused because that when he did that little thing with Randall saying I used to do that in the third, he said that was all fakery. So maybe it's not that, but he did do some stuff. I'm guessing because I don't know. He's off, and we know this, but how off is he? You know what I'm saying? So then she gets off the elevator. Julius gets off as well. So I was kind of like, what the heck is this? I think Julius is going to try and get like more information on this woman. So I mean, I think we're gonna see with that. I think we're gonna see. That'll be interesting. Because there's something off with that lady too, and then even with the clip I don't want to say nothing. Maybe at the end, and I think I might have a little story for y'all too, because I need to ask y'all opinion on something, or not even just I need to say something about it. All right, because I don't appreciate it, but it's going a little off. But betrayal. All right, not in. All right, so I'm gonna save it to the end. So okay, so we switch back, and by the way, Jedi, I know it ain't much, but I am on a webcam doing my video. I'm just playing. I get what you were trying to say, and people shouldn't be making remarks like that, but so I'm gonna just be on my webcam, and I'll be upgrading soon. But what's up, Jedi? Good to know you doing that. I was actually watching yours, and I was dying. I think I'm only like 10 minutes in. I was dying. I'm gonna finish that. Okay, so then we switch back to Kelly's house. Now, okay, we've got her pretty much just walking around in the house. She goes into a room. I guess Alex is napping there. Then we hear the kids, so she goes in the room and she tells the kids like, quiet down. Your mom's taking a nap, and they're like, okay, cool. So then she goes to the front room. Ramsey's in there. So Ramsey, he's sitting on the couch and whatever. And he goes, I thought my mama was exaggerating. She goes, about what? He goes, about all the drama that happens here. She goes, oh no. She was serious. Okay, she was serious. And then she's like, she's like, thanks. And he goes, for what? She goes, for protecting her. And he goes, and you? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, sure, it's no problem. And she goes, so you a bad ASS, huh? He's like, nah, man, I'm just, she was like that little karate you got. He was like military training. She goes, well, excuse me, so they pretty much like, ha ha, kiki. And then she's like, And he goes, what's that for? And she's like, you just make me feel, safe and whatever. And he says, you don't always feel safe. And she goes, I do, but, not as safe as I feel with you. Or like how you made me feel today. So then he moves the pillow, to try and sit closer to her. So didn't appreciate it, and I would have had to be like, all right, you need to go ahead and back up. Like, he's handsome and all that. I'm not gonna try and deny it, but I would have been like, nah, brother, you gonna have to step aside. Step aside. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he moves the pillow and scoots closer to her. So then he's like, I think you should always feel safe. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, thank you. And he goes, sure. So then he goes, does not feeling safe have to do with anything that he was saying out there? And she goes, who? And he's like, oh boy from next door. And she's like, oh, you heard that? He's like, yeah. So what's going on with this? What did he say? Something about buying a house and this, that? And she's like, trust me, it's a long story. So then he's like, well, I ain't got nowhere to go. So, and then she's like, shouldn't you be going to take a shower? And he was like, can you smell me? And so she's like, nah, I'm just saying, but you've been outside in the hot sun and maybe you need to go in there and take a shower. And he's like, I will, but usually women like that gruff, man smell or whatever. And she's like, yeah, well, I don't. And he's like, I feel like you're lying to me right now. She was like, no, I'm not lying. I'm telling you. And he goes, well, I'll go ahead and do that in a minute. But right now I need you to just go ahead and tell me, why did you, he goes, first of all, he's like, but I don't smell funky. So, cause she's like, I don't like that funky smell. And he's like, but I don't smell funky. She was like, no, you don't. So then he was like, so why are you playing with me? And kind of like looking at her, I would have been like, okay, dude, really? Like, this is what you know what I'm saying? So then she goes, he goes, trying to change the subject. So then she goes back, she goes, my ex, he was in Haiti for a while on a missionary. And, he kept telling me he wanted to ask me something, so I thought he was going to propose to me when he got back. And so I ended up buying this house for us, and I told him that I love the house and that it would be perfect for us, so I bought it. And then he told me that he wanted to ask me, could we just be friends? So Ramsey is like, what? Like, are you serious? And she's like, yep. And he goes, like, kind of like, wow. And she's like, see, even you're doing the now. And he's like, it's just, I could tell he don't know a good woman when he sees one. So then she's like smiling now. He was like, that's the kind of dude that, like, what did he say, y'all? He said, he says, guys like that are all about mama's breast milk and not about the actual breasts themselves. I was like, goodbye, Ramsey. I can't. So she's like, what? He says, I knew some guys like that back when I was in my unit, military. He goes, 30 going on 12. I said, okay, no, I don't know about that. He says, you need a man, not a boy. She says, then he says, there you go with that again. So Ramsey teased her. I'm over it. Because you knew Kelly was kind of checking for you and she needed to stop because you got to be a little more reserved about it. Just a little, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she not being easy or nothing, but just be a little, I'd be like, oh boy, please. You know what I'm saying? I think it's time for you to go. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? It ain't happening. So anyway, she thought he was leaning in for a kiss because he was leaning in towards her. Then and then you hear some keys jingling. And so she got her eyes closed, lips out at everything. And he's like, oh, I was just trying to get my keys. I was like, forget you, Ramsey, because that was so embarrassing. I was embarrassed for her. That's how embarrassing it was. Okay, just even the look of it. And then he had a smirk on his face too. You know what she was doing, Ramsey. I didn't appreciate it. She says, oh. And he says, well, I better get going. Take that shower. And she's like, yeah, all right. He goes, if you ever need anything, I'm just right next door. She's like, okay. Walks him to the door, closes it. Alex comes out. She goes, well, that was pretty embarrassing for you. She goes, oh my God, girl, how long you been standing there? She's like, oh, long enough. I just saw everything that happened, So then Alex is like, girl, I'm going home. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go home. She's like, are you sure? She's like, I think you should spend the night. So Alex is like, really, girl, I'm right next door. She's like, okay, then why don't I call the girls and we all have, a little sleepover and, we just chill. So then she's like, that's really nice. She's like, no, girl, first of all, it'll be fun for the kids and we all haven't got together in a while. So we need to catch each other up and, let's come on, let's go. So then she's just like, all right, because Kelly goes, I'm not taking no for an answer. So she's like, okay. She's like, all right, I'm going to call the girls up. We got to be over there tonight, party. You know what I'm saying? Then we switch back to the hospital. Now, Andrew, which is the new guy, his storyline is kind of coming up. And I thought so because last season there was a couple low-key shades with him. And I was kind of like, oh, is he about to be doing something? Didn't appreciate it because I wanted that low-key shade to be him running down or something to go talk to Pete. Yo, they talking about doing it. It didn't happen. I'm over you, Tyler. Just kidding. The show is wonderful. All right, so then we switch back to the hospital with Andrew. And he's, just on lookout with Pete. Just, looking. Because he's looking through. Pete is like laying in a hospital bed and then he's standing and looking through the glass. So then the woman walks up, the nurse, her name is Tina. And I got a little information on that, but I don't know if I want to spoil it. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll probably just talk about the clip for next week. So she walks up on him. She's like, Andrew, he turns around, he's like, hey, he's like, how long is your shift tonight? She goes, all night. Like, kind of trying to say, like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be here all night. So then he's like, okay, cool. Could you, like, watch him? No, he goes, first, he's like, isn't there supposed to be somebody watching him? She goes, yeah, he just went to the bathroom. So he goes, look, could you really just watch him? She's like, yeah, that's my job. He's like, no, like, really watch him. And she's like, okay, what's going on? He goes, where they're sending an officer over Ben. She goes, Ben the drug addict? He goes, the what? She's like, the drug addict. He's like, how do you know he's a drug addict? She goes, because when he was in here, he had to take mad painkillers. It's pretty much a telltale. No, first she was like, I can't tell you because, I could lose my job. He's like, come on, it's me. So I get this, like, they know each other better than just I was working here for a couple months. I don't know if it was like a sibling thing or, I don't know. Maybe just really close friends. So then, she's like, I could lose my job. He's like, come on, it's me. So then she's like, all right, well, when he was in here the last time, he was like, nothing was working. He needed mad painkillers. It's pretty much a telltale. Like, okay, and she was like, and bad too. He was like, really? He's like, I didn't even know that. He's like, well, anyway, yeah, he's coming down here, and I really need you to watch him because there's something wrong with that dude. Pretty much, I'm trying to tell you. She goes, okay, I got it. She's like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, no, you're not. Like, what is your problem? It looks like you got something you want to say, but you can't say it. And she's like, come on, it's me. I know there's something wrong with you. And he's like, I'm good. Look, don't worry about me. Just watch him. All right? I'm good. So then she's like, all right. So he leaves. I'm worried about Andrew, y'all. Because we know the whole department is corrupt, but he be like shaking. And I'm like, oh, dang, Andrew, is you that scared? It's Eddie. But then if I'm thinking about it, okay, the whole department, that might be a little something different. I don't know if I'd be shaking and, stuff, because that's how he was looking like, could you just watch him? You know what I'm saying? It was a lot for me. I get it. Okay, so then we switched to Natalie's house, and, she's cleaning up, whatever, gets over there by the table, her purse is on there. So then she's like, oh, dang, looks on her purse, sees that she forgot to give Lucian the tape. So she calls him, gets the voicemail. She's like, I keep forgetting to give you something, so call me back. I just keep forgetting to give this to you. Also, I cleaned out a couple of drawers for you because we know last week she gave him a key. And he's like, a key? I already have a key. She's like, I might have changed the locks. And they're cute. I like them. So then she's like, yeah, call me back. I cleared out a drawer for you and everything. Hangs up the phone. Then she's going over. She goes and hides it like in a little cupboard thing on the counter. And, puts it in there. And I had something, I don't want to even spoil that because I've been reading up, y'all. But anyway, so then a call's coming in on her phone. It's Esperanza. She's calling her. And by the way, I like that Tyler did this because I was afraid. Because I was like, what if she gets mad at Esperanza because of what Eddie did to her when he came to the house and, tased her? I was like, that wouldn't really be right because it wasn't Esperanza. So I was cool to see, okay, this is my friend. She'll probably end up telling her, which I don't got no problem with. I'm not going to have no problem with her telling her. All right. Okay. So she on the phone with Esperanza now. So she's like, hey, girl, what's up? She's like, hey, did you hear? Did she call you about she goes to sleep over at Alex's, finishing each other's sentences, bestie. And so she's like, yeah, you going over there? You going over? She's like, yeah, girl, you know what I'm saying? It's just the drama. She's like, I know, girl. That's why I called you in the first place. But, I'm going to go over there because it's going to be fun for the kids and all that. She like, yeah. So then Natalie's like, so what's going down there? Like, is everything going good down there, with Lucian and Eddie? She's like, yeah, I mean, I guess. But I just found out recently that they're going to be writing separately now. So then Natalie's like, okay, so that's good, right? So Esperanza's like, yeah, except I've never seen that done before. It's kind of weird, like. So she's like, that's good, Esperanza. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, girl, I'm not trying to worry you. Don't even worry about it. He's good. I've been watching him and everything. It's just that after Lucian saving Eddie's life and moving up in the ranks so quickly, his respect level is kind of like, and she's like, yeah, girl, I get what you're saying. So then she's like, but girl, don't worry about it. He's fine. I've been watching him. He's all good. I'm not trying to worry you. So she's like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, all right. So then she's like, just make sure. She was like, I'm watching him. She's like, well, make sure you watching that Claudia girl. She go, Claudia? How you know Claudia? She was like, I rolled up in there, girl. She's trying to slide Lucian her number. She like, are you serious? No, Natalie. Like, that's how she was. She like, yeah, girl. She was trying to go ahead and slap my man the digits. So she like, girl, I can't even stand her. So she like, really? She like, yeah, girl, I can't even stand her. I can't even stand her. Okay, that ain't how she was saying it. But yeah, so she was like, girl, you know I'm trying to get her ass fired, right? She like, go ahead, girl. Okay, go ahead and watch it. She like, all right. And girl, get that house for you and Lucian, okay? She's like, girl, what you know about that? She like, come on, we know you the crazy one, Natalie. He's all good. Just go get that house. Go get that house with him. So she laughing and everything. She like, all right, girl, I gotta find some time to do it. She was like, well, you should go this week because I'm available this week. We can go look at the house together. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'll go down and slide down there with you. You feel me? So then Natalie like, all right, girl. She's so then Esperanza, I love you, peace, So then Natalie just like, bye, hang up. So then we switch. Wait a minute, y'all. Should I just finish with Esperanza? I'm not gonna do it. Nah, I'm just okay. I'm just gonna follow my notes, everybody. All right, so let me see. Okay, so then we switch to Quan, and Quan is rolling up on Tank. These are the dudes that shot up Pete. I know it because I know Tank because he was in the first half of this season. Everybody, y'all remember Tank? The when Eddie shot Ben's hand off, Tank was that dude. I'm over you because he's acting like a little witch. I don't appreciate it, y'all. Come on, Tank. And that's why I was like, you trying to get all buck. I don't appreciate Quan either. But like I tell you, Tank, you acting, he was sitting up there like, we all saw him shaking and scared when Eddie came, now, come on, man, I ain't even, but you real big and bold when you talking to Quan, right? I can't, dude. So they basically, Quan get out the car because he roll up on him. He's like, yo, this is my spot. What you doing on my block? What you doing on my block? He's like, yo, spot, man, chill. So he not even taking him seriously. He kind of just laughing. I'm like, man, please. You mean my spot? He like, roll up out of here, dude. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and call. No, he said, you think just because you got that little Mexican, this is Tank talking to Quan, you think just because you got that little Mexican, you could go ahead and talk to anybody how you want, or you can't get took over? He's like, first of all, he's Colombian, idiot, and you think just because you got Eddie, you can't get took over? And he like, what you know about that? He's like, I know he get a cut of everything you making. I know he making sure you won't catch a case out here. I know that. He's like, oh, yeah. He goes, you smart. He's like, I know I'm smart. I know I am. So he's like, so you better be smart. He was like, I got something on you, man. You're not even, you need to go ahead and back up. You need to go. Quan like, oh, really? What you got on me? What you got on me? He was like, I know you shot up that burger joint and got Eddie shot. And the only reason I ain't talked to him yet is because I'm trying to grab up a few more spots. All right, so I can keep using that. Pretty much, he trying to say is ammunition. So first Quan kind of poker face like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, man. So then he like, oh really? You don't know what I'm talking about? Well, I can go tell Eddie right now. You know what I'm saying? Like with the coming real threatening, like. And Quan was dumb for me though, because first of all, Julius will blow out Eddie's candle in a freaking second. So you put Julius and Eddie next together, okay, this becomes a joke. And who's Eddie? You know what I'm saying? So that right there for me was just kind of like, so what? I would be like, okay, and I'll call up Julius right now because I still don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that you're in my spot and you need to move. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna try and blow all that hot air trying to talk to me about Eddie. Like, I'm not even, I'd be like, dude, what you talking about? I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But now Quan was like, oh, okay. He's like, I see you. This what you trying to do? So Tank is like, I see you too. He's like, you be good, man. You be good. So he's like, all right, man, I'll catch you. I'll catch you. Because he told him, he was like, come, you want to try and act all big and bold with me? You ain't nothing but a witch, Quan. You let that little dude take your money, Joey. You let Joey take your money and punk you. You weak. You ain't even nothing. You know what I'm saying? Trying to tell him, like, dude, don't even be trying to come at me like that. That's when he tried to be like, I'll call up Eddie right now. He's like, and he said it too. He was like, I'll holler at Eddie like a little witch. If you want me to, keep on trying me. I'm over Tank and I've been over him. All right. Just wanted to go ahead and point that out. Okay. So then we switch back to the police station and Esperanza is calling in on Claudia, calling her last job. And she's like, you sure you don't have a Claudia Summers? They like, nah. So she's like, okay, could you at least check this for me? She said Maxine Shaw was her supervisor down here. Do you know of any of that? So they're checking. She's like, really? So they're like, yeah, I guess they said if we can't find anything. She's like, no, that's fine. It's okay. I just wanted to, call up on her last job. So then she hangs up the phone. So she hangs up the phone, walks over to Lucian, and she's like, "Hey, Lou," and she's like, Natalie just called me. She wants you to call her. He goes, "Everything okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I think she just wanted to tell you we're gonna be over at Alex's tonight." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So then she's like, I think I'm skipping something, y'all. I hope it comes back to me. But so then she's like, "Okay, I need your help." He's like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "This Claudia girl, I called up on her last job. The manager don't know who she was. Said they never heard of her. The supervisor don't know who that is. That don't even exist." And he's like, "Really? So you called her last job?" She like, "Yeah," and they have no idea who she is. And they're like, he's like, "You called her last job?" She like, "Yeah, Lou," and they don't know who she is. And no, first she was like, "I'm thinking about firing." No, she goes, "Claudia, she is terrible. Like, I don't even know what's wrong with her." No, I'm sorry, y'all. So she says something about Claudia, and he's like, "How's she doing over there?" She was like, "No," he said, "Is she messing?" I'm sorry. She said it. He goes, "Is she messing up over there?" She was like, "Yeah, she's terrible." And she's like, "Actually endangering my whole department. She's dropping calls. She's not, taking it seriously." And he's like, "Well, you're not thinking of firing her, are you?" She's like, "Actually, I am." So then he's like, "No, you can't do that. I'm pretty sure, she really needs the money. She really needs the money." And he's like, "Well," she goes, "Well, I called her last job. Nothing's popping up. You know what I'm saying?" Then he's like, "Okay, well, hand me the file. I'll run it. And then, I'll really see what's going on." And so then she hands him the file. And he's not looking at it. No, she goes, "Okay, hand me the file. And if you let me know if you found out anything, because I want to fire her." And hands him the file. And he's like, "Okay." So she's walking away, and he calls some number, and all you hear is, "Yes, yes. Can I speak to Larry Lamont?" "Yes, yes." "Okay. 57678." I'm like, "What the?" And then we switched to next scene, and this is where I was mad because I thought we almost got through one episode without seeing Eddie. Nope. So then we switched to the hospital. Ben is on lookout. Not really, because he wasn't even turned toward Ben. He was just facing the other way. Eddie comes in. He's like, "Eddie, what are you doing here?" So he comes over to the glass. He's like, "So how's he doing?" He's like, "The doctors are saying he's going to make it." So then they were like, "Are they not?" He goes, "Are they now?" So then Ben is like, "Man, he can't. He knows too much." He was like, "Who are you talking to?" He's like, "I know." He's like, "I already got a plan." And he's like, "He knows too much." He was like, "That's the beauty of it. Dead man never tell no tales." Camera switches down. He trying to hand Ben some type of shot. He's like, "Put this in his IV." He's like, "What?" He's like, I can't. What you talking about?" He was like, "Look, if he no, what did no?" Because then Ben was like, "This is Pete." No, he goes, "Me?" He goes, "Yeah, you." Come on now. He's like, "Eddie." He's like, "This is Pete." He's like, "Yeah," and he's got enough evidence to bury us. So if you get in there and do what you need to do, I can't freaking stand him. And how Ben just submits. Like, what is your problem? Like, you submitting? Really? So he's like, get in there now." So he gets in there. Eddie on the lookout now. Then we switch over to the lady. She calling somebody, which don't really make no sense. Because why don't you go and get over there and be like, "What are y'all doing?" Then we switch back to them. Last freaking 5 seconds, I'm looking at the freaking clock. 58. I'm like, "Oh my god, 59." And it's like, okay, he's teasing. No, not teasing, but like about to push it in. Trying to turn his arm or whatever. Next week on If Loving You Is Wrong. I can't with you, Tyler. I can't. But what they tease for next week is the girls are gonna be hanging out. It shows that Tina, that's the nurse, is gonna be calling Andrew, and this, that, and the third. So we're gonna see her. The season is definitely heating up. And then with that Tilda woman, I see her talking to somebody. She's like, "I want him dead." Whoever she's talking, I don't know who she's talking to. She's talking to somebody because she's shady, y'all. She's shady. I already know it. And then Randall is really about to be getting on my nerve. Julius is coming to see Randall next week for some more counseling. Tyler, let's not make them a couple, all right? Because I don't know, y'all. I'm not trying to say it's gonna happen. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna tell that story because I don't want to do it, but I can't, y'all. This episode was cool. I really liked it. I wasn't too upset because sometimes I'll really be upset. Like, it's not even the type of upset where, "Oh, okay, I'm upset." Like, no. I won't even be just like, there will be no distinction between this being a TV show and real life. So I'm happy that I asked Jehovah to walk with me. So I'm glad I was cool tonight. I was cool. Or last night, because so yeah, everybody. Once again, I apologize for being up so late, and things of that. And you know what? I think I do actually. Nah, it's running long. Should I? I'm gonna do it next week. All right, and maybe I'll do some videos before that. I'm sorry, I know I told y'all I was supposed to be doing videos more often, but I apologize. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. But thank you so much for watching. It's your girl JJ. Peace.